Good day, everyone. I am John Wright Francisco Nuda, and I am going to discuss to you my assigned topic, which is project performance, measurement, control, and closure. Now, let's define what is performance measurement. So, project performance measurement, it involves assessing and tracking a project progress and effectiveness against its goals and objectives. So, it uses metrics or key performance indicator, no? This key performance indicator will help us to identify no kung asa na ang atong project, kung igo na ba siya sa timeline, sa budget adherence and quality of work to evaluate how well a project is performing. So another definition, performance measurement is the process used to assess the efficiency and effectiveness of project, programs, and initiatives. It is systematic approach to collecting, analyzing, and evaluating how on track a project program is to achieve its desired outcomes, goals, and objectives. So performance measurement allows organization to assess their progress toward desired outcomes. So it helps identify the gaps, it guides decision making, and it support accountability. There are three main activities of the performance management, which that is performance measurement, the control, and closure. And I think we already discussed about the performance measurement in the previous slides. So now let's proceed to control. Based on measurement, corrective actions are taken to address deviations. So we need to control the project in order us to avoid some problem exists, no? As discussed also in the previous reports, if plan A was not successful, let's proceed to plan B. So, of course, control is one of the important thing, no, in order us to identify uh, the solution, no, if that problems is existing. Now, closure, final phase where project deliverables are handed over. Stakeholders are informed, lessons learned are documented, and the project is officially closed. So, at the end, we need to have disclosure to discuss no, to the stakeholders about the project duration and everything. And, of course, if there is some problem na nag-exist within the project, we need to learn from it no in order us to apply for our next project and also to aware us no some problems that exist. So let's proceed to advanced earned value management, so EVM. So earned value management is a project performance measurement technique that integrates scope, schedule, and cost. So there are three core metrics of EVM or earned value management. Number one is planned value. So, or budget cost of work schedule. So, this is the approved budget for scheduled work. Think of it as it is your financial GPS. So, this is a roadmap. So, earned value or EV and budgeted cost of work performed or BCWP. So, this is the budgeted value of the actual work completed. It's where the rubber meets the road. It's the value of the work actually completed, expressed terms, and approved budget. And actual cost to work performed or ACWP. So this is the real world cost of the work done, including time, money, and materials. So by comparing these values, project managers can calculate performance indexes such as cost performance index and schedule performance index. So this is the earned value management system, no? It composes informed decisions, planned value, earned value, the actual cost, the scope, the schedule, of course the cost, and risk identification. So, comprehensive project system. A comprehensive project system, or PCS, is a holistic framework that monitors and corrects project deviations, ensuring completion within budget timeline, and desired objectives. It involves planning, monitoring, measuring, and taking corrective actions, and is often based on a continuous improvement process model. So there are four steps in the project control process. Setting baseline for scope, cost, and timeline. This serves as the benchmark. So planning will start here, the setting baseline. Next is the monitoring performance, tracking deliverables and milestone, and analyzing variances, identifying the discrepancies between the actual and the planned performance. So this is involved in the computation, no, on budget. Implementing corrective actions. Implementing corrective actions, this includes adjusting the plan, reallocating resources, or shifting timelines to stay on track. So those are the four steps in project control process. So does it the setting baseline, monitoring performance, analyzing variances, implementing corrective actions. There are six types of project controls in project management. Number one is scope control. So, it ensures that only approved work is performed. Of course, kung hindi siya approved, di mo na to siya i-perform, di ba? Schedule control. So, schedule control keeps the project on time. So, you need to track that, no? Cost control prevents budget overruns. So, nanubra ba ta itong monitoron kung nanubra ba ta sa atong budget. Quality control, it ensures the deliverables meet the requirements. And risk control, identify the mitigates threats, kung sa mga threats about sa project. And communication control, facilitates the clear communication among the stakeholders. So clear communication is very important, no, in all aspect in order as to avoid some problems, no. And all this control works together to reduce uncertainty and guide the project to a successful completion. So if we have these six types of project control, of course, the project could be successful. Now, okay, that's the definition I already discussed. Project closure process. So project closure is the final phase in a project life cycle. So these phases ensures that all deliverables are completed and accepted, contracts are closed, resources are released, stakeholders are informed, lessons learned are captured. So there are 9 steps of project closure. Number one is collect necessary documents. Example for that is the design approvals, request for information, certificates for any inspection, certificate of occupancy, certificate of substantial completion, pay submittals for contractors. So those are the examples. Some of the examples. I think there are more, but this is part of the example lang of collect necessary documents. Number two is review change order and modification. Are modification requests submitted by a party working on the construction project in response to a delay or new addition. Note this request is in writing immediately so that keeping track of them is easy when it comes to time to wrap up, review all changes orders, to confirm their completion, or indicate why they may remain incomplete. So, review change orders, confirm which modification were completed or left outstanding kung wala pa siya nahuman na project. So, next is ensure order specifications are met. So, perform a final check to ensure a compliance with the standard. So, kung ni-meet ba ang standard, no, sa project, no? Next is number 4 is present to the client. Once you make sure that your deliverables meet client's expectation, it's time for you to deliver the goods. This step hinge on the client's pre-established understanding of project goals and timelines. So, deliver the final output and walk through the client through some concerns, no? Yung natin mga concerns, we need to share, no, to discuss it with the client. Address all client feedback. It's likely that your project has a requirement for client sign off, satisfaction, or approval in order to move forward with closeout. Your walkthrough presentation should be through and address all clients' requests, but more may come up during this time. Use your prepared documents to answer any questions about scope or completion and note any final request along with a timeline for completion of those requirements. Be responsive, no? We should be responsive and document all the changes and concerns to address all the client feedbacks. So next, let's proceed to number 6, close any open contracts. So client approval is a green light to move ahead with finalizing the closeout process. Once you know that your work is complete, close remaining contracts so payment can begin. If you build a relationship with any subcontractors on a particular project, complete their documents or their contracts quickly to let them know you have their best interest in mind. This will also show your client that you're efficient, prepared, and ready to tackle another project. So number 7 is gather project takeaways for future learning. After wrapping things up with your client, reflect on the success and failures of this recent project. These learnings will be valuable to you and your company in the future, particularly if you take on a similar project. Archives your project lessons the same way you planned your project. Take care to organize each step so it's easy to find. Include a summary at the beginning that details special circumstances you might forget when referring back to this project. So a project archive will help you avoid closeout mistakes in the future. So we need to document, no, document success, the failures, and improve areas for the future projects. So in summary, project performance measurement, it tracks how well we're doing, and the project control, it ensures we stay aligned with our goals, and project closure, wrap things up formally and thoughtfully. So these are all my references for my topic. So that's all for my topic, Module 6, Project Performance Control and Closure. And thank you very much for watching and listening for this video. Have a good day, everyone.